Located deep within the Caucasus, high up in the mountains of Kabardino-Balkaria, near the village of Zayukovo within Russia, the rumored tip of a lost prehistoric ruin of gargantuan proportions has recently been discovered. Found after years of exhaustive efforts to verify the source of countless local legends, which all told of a massive ancient anomaly located somewhere deep beneath the mountains. Told of and even claimed as having been witnessed by the elders of the many local tribes, all telling of a now lost ancient underworld, a complex network of dungeons, tunnels, and vast caverns where ancient town squares, houses, and many other dwellings can still be found, still all intact, yet left completely abandoned, untold millennia ago. Quote, "For many years we have searched, we have gone to the places of these alleged dungeons, and we have listened to the elderly, and we found the place, right where, according to Aksakalov's stories, there lay an old city. This not an allegory, but the literal translation of local legend. The old folks say it was built by people who lived here before them, yet who they were, what kind of people, nobody knows." Vadim Chernobrov, head of the Public Research Association, told the mainstream media. He continues, "This city, according to them, was located both above and below ground. An elder recalls that when he was a child, some young people had entered the huge underground city and found its squares, its streets and clubs, but no trace of people. With a still existing underground river, which if followed, led to a central square, in the middle of which a kind of monument, something like a sacred stone, placed in the center of the settlement." End quote. One of the local tribe's elders, known as an Aksakal, would tell Vadim of a place located within the Baksan Gorge, whose name from Kabardian indeed translated to Old City. With this information, several possible closed-up entrances were found, after which they would stumble upon a small, still accessible opening. A possible entranceway into this now lost world deep below the earth. And with the aid of locals, Maria and Viktor Kotlyarov, an exploration of the opening was arranged. Led by climber and speleologist Arthur Jemuko, he and a select team of experienced climbers then slowly descended into what he initially presumed a mere natural opening, at the very most a small ancient mine. Yet they would soon realize it of such enormous scale, the ends of the cavern not visible, not even reachable with their ropes. Soon realizing that they indeed within an ancient artifact, not only of clear artificial origin, but as the legends had told, of unimaginably gigantic proportions. Quote, "They are made of smooth stone blocks roughly the same size as that of the Egyptian pyramid stones, and were presumably obtained and constructed with the use of similar technologies, with one attached to the other. Each weighing around 50 to 100 tons, all seemingly well worked and polished to a finish, although chips and cracks have seemingly appeared with age." End quote. The dungeon is of colossal size, and the speleologists have only managed to explore a very small part of it so far, advancing only a mere 100 meters between the narrow walls into the feature. Noting that each of these strange narrow cavities go very deep into the earth and are also all seemingly part of a much bigger anomaly and indeed possible past function. Noting later that the light from their torchlights is not even reaching the bottom. What is this ancient structure? Is it a part of a much bigger complex? One that, for some yet to be established purpose or reason, drills deep into the earth below. The researchers have come to a rather interesting conclusion in regard to what they think this feature could be, and instead of being an entrance to the underworld, which could indeed still exist nearby, have postulated a function similar to the one put forward for the claimed functionality of the anomaly beneath Khafra. Quote, "It looks like a certain resonator, a device for seismological research, mining, or some kind of energy generation," says Chernobrov. And with the recent hypothesis put forward drawing similarities in appearance with the anomaly beneath Egypt and that of apparent tuning forks, also noted specifically as being for possible seismological purposes. Is this but a coincidence? Perhaps it's a connection. The entrance the team has uncovered leads into an incredibly narrow vertical shaft, descending tens of meters in each blocked section. Managing to reach a passage, they struggled greatly to pass without equipment. Yet beyond lay huge hidden rooms 100 meters in height. It is clearly a gigantic artificial feature, one once built over 1 kilometer above sea level and high up in the mountains, yet of a size possibly dwarfing even that of the Great Pyramids. I will keep you posted on further developments. It is a recent, suspiciously little shared discovery, which I find highly compelling.
Discovered 65 years ago within the remote landscape of Siberia. First found by geologist Vadim Kolpakov, a possible ancient alien anomaly deep below the ground, which has come to be known as the Potomsky Crater, or Eagle's Nest. A mountain of smashed limestone, continuously churning the surrounding stone to a pulp. Whatever's down there has been there for centuries. An as yet to be identified anomaly which is seemingly burying itself into the ground of this remote, uninhabited Siberian forest. Thought to be well over 250 years old. Although these estimates can differ widely in reality, nobody is quite sure just how long it's been there, or indeed how old the anomaly is within. Scientists have previously suggested that it's a possible slag heap, yet alas, no inhabitation, ancient or otherwise, has been identified anywhere near this strange place. In archived official reports, one singular sole sentence can be found mentioning the crater, along with an aligning with the possibilities of, quote, ET influences, with the idea of it having once been a volcano then seemingly favored in all the later reports, although there exists no grounds, indeed no supportive evidence to support such official conclusions, with no volcanoes ever having been found nearby. The theory of a meteor impact is the favorite theory peddled by the mainstream, yet this too having no evidence of such an event ever occurring, with no fragments or damage to the surrounding area ever located. Intriguingly, as mentioned, recent investigations, however, have stumbled upon something strange within, an object displaying a high iron content, an object which is currently burying itself deeper and deeper into the earth with every passing day, with it last recorded at over 100 meters below the solid stone surface. The crater curiously quoted by numerous sources as being alive, with it changing shape and appearance daily, constantly rising and falling, indicative of something which is still functioning, yet also malfunctioning, something capable of grinding stone to dust, which is heading directly through the earth itself, with trees nearby the site also strangely reported as having abnormally fast growth patterns. Named Potomsky after a nearby river when it was discovered by Kolpakov. He would try in vain to arrange a scientific expedition to explore the site fully, yet due to the notoriously remote nature of its location would fail. In the following years, individuals would set off on independent adventures to reach the remote anomaly. Eventually, over half a ton of samples would be taken from the site, most removed by helicopter for testing. This allowing for the dismissal of any nuclear activity, being responsible with background radiation of the site showing low to no uranium traces. Additionally, the mysterious site has not given up any meteoritic material, and as mentioned, the area is not thought to be volcanic. In fact, there are no volcanoes within 1,000 kilometers of the Potomsky crater, with it also noted by the examinations to be relatively new in geological terms. With an impressive half-ton of samples so far retrieved, it would seem somebody is very keen to determine its origins. Perhaps they are looking for something. Could this be the impact site of an unmanned UFO? Now burying itself while still thinking it's on a direct course, crossing its path by sheer chance, whilst on its journey through our solar system. The scientific team responsible for the investigations do indeed now think that there is something buried here, although seemingly reluctant to go so far as to admit it as being, quote, alive, opting instead to reveal that whatever this object is, it possesses a high ferromagnetic content. Having located the enigmatic object buried some 100 meters deep inside the crater, with constantly moving geography, strange growth patterns in surrounding trees, a mysterious, seemingly indestructible object with a high magnetic field located burying itself deep within. A stuck, malfunctioning, interstellar craft. It could indeed be. If it is an interstellar craft, it could quite possibly be unmanned yet clearly still running. Interstellar travel would not be suited to organic life. Thus, it may be a stuck, unmanned craft, burying itself further and further into the shattered rock like quicksand. There's definitely something very strange buried here in this cold and most remote of places. Something which I find highly compelling. What is this strange anomaly? How did it appear in this incredibly remote section of Siberian forest?